Apollo, are you ready?
Yes. Hello?
Yep, we can hear you. Or
Oh, wait.
you just put yourself back on mute, I think.
Oh,
No, you're fine. Actually, you're fine. Sorry.
oh, okay. All right. You want me to begin? All right. Morning, everyone. I'm Apollo from the Banana App team. With this recent COVID outbreak, some of us have lost loved ones, laid off from work, or even unable to graduate. And our hearts go out to all of you. We feel your pain. But one of the tragic results from this pandemic is that something I cannot overstate even more, as someone who runs a food bank, is hunger. Our Banana App aims to revolutionize food-based food programs by focusing on the following: hunger prevention. Many low-wage earners have been especially hit hard because many of them work in the hospitality industry that are closed right now. Secondly, is reduce food wastage. Restaurants, groceries, supermarkets will have the ability to donate unsold, overproduced, and undelivered food to those low-income individuals and families. This COVID outbreak is hard, unimaginable, and even life-threatening. But this will not and have not rendered us ineffective. Our collective ability as humans allow us to weather the storm. Join our fellow leaders, empowered and inspired to change the world. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Apollo.
Thank you.
Next up is Greg with Climate Tree.
Thanks
Greg,
a lot,
are you
Mark.
ready?
Are you able to hear me? Hello? Okay,
Yep.
great. Thank you so much to hear. That's amazing news. The update is we've had 25 master students in advanced software development work on this for the spring semester for about the past 4 months. And it's just amazing what they've accomplished. We have a live beta site, so please navigate to it. And we also, in our project space, we have links to the GitHub, and technical documentation, diagramming, and so forth. Today, we're looking for JavaScript full stack web developers, UI, UX designers, Azure Cloud Infrastructure specialists, database admins, the GIS and spatially curious, and general debuggers. With our project, you get to start with ready code and a ready UX to respond to. Right here, you see 2 screenshots, one of our stories, which are what we arrange by also the map in the lower right-hand corner. Those are all the places in the world that are comparable to Seattle. Interesting story, one comparable of Seattle is Milan, and both cities have, in post-COVID world, have shut down about 20 miles of their streets to pedestrians and biking only. In any event, hope you join us and hope to see you in our room. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Greg. Next up is the COVID-19 PPE allocation optimization tool. Sarthak, are you ready?
Yes, sir. It's a very long name, but I'll shorten it to be something you all can get behind. So this is a new project we're bringing through Democracy Lab. It was actually started by Mark himself. We're trying to get this through. So this tool is really intended to help public health managers across the different jurisdictions within Washington to ensure that with efficiency, they can actually provide the right amount of the right type of equipment to various healthcare facilities and in turn the frontline healthcare workers. So we actually piloted a very small scale Excel-based solution for this with a King County epidemiologist, long word again, using a linear programming add-in with Excel. But for today, we're looking to see how we can better scale this solution. So there's a little bit of open-endedness, but we're really looking for people to come help inform us on how we better leverage current technologies, whether that's more extensive use of Excel or even exploring other application tools that we can leverage to really help build this into something that can be used by other jurisdictions. We have some interest from Snohomish County and Pierce County. So looking to see how we can make this scalable. So for today, we're really just looking to evaluate and architect the technical solution for the MVP. We'll go from there. So looking forward to hearing from everybody. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Sarthak. All right, next up is Democracy Lab. Marlon, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Yeah, so yeah, we're Democracy Lab. We power the platform that you hopefully all use to join us today. What we're hoping to accomplish today in particular is to start building out kind of a groups feature for Democracy Lab, which lets various communities of civic hackers like yourself better aggregate their project work and, you know, be able to present kind of a better face to the world for people who are interested in their group in particular. So yeah, we're looking for front-end developers. We work in React, JavaScript, and yeah, hope to see you all today.
Great, thank you, Marlon. Next up is Give On Live. Are you ready to present? Let's see. Christiane, are you here? Christiana? Not hearing her. Okay, so we will continue on. So next up is Orca Sound. Is that Brandon or Scott presenting today?
That would be me today.
Brendan, okay, great.
All right. So my name is Brendan Thatcher. I'm a volunteer UX designer and researcher with Orca Sound. And Orca Sound allows concerned citizen scientists to listen for orcas in the Salish Sea. Today we are working on implementing the live site from the beta site, and I've made some design recommendations based on user feedback. And we really want to get those design changes implemented, as well as set up the Google Analytics so you know, we can track you know, user activity on the website. So we're not using HTML, CSS. We're actually using React with a oh goodness. React, we're using JavaScript with the React library, sorry, as well as Python, Google Sheets API, and Google Analytics. And today, you know, we want to set all that stuff up and get ready for the public launch. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Brendan. All right, next up is Pinion. Scott, are you ready?
I hope you can hear me. Am I coming through?
Yep.
All right, great, thanks. Hi, Mark and everyone. Pinion is a project where we're trying to create a platform where it's easy to find and vote on any piece of legislation that your legislators are voting on your behalf at any level of government, local, state, or national. The whole idea is there ought to be a place where public opinion resides and where we can see if our legislators are voting in our favor, both as individuals and as legislative districts. Today, we're really focusing not on the technology application, but on planning for the next iteration of our product. So we have what I would call a fragile MVP now that we're really not doing a lot to. We're just making some minor changes. But we're getting ready to enter into a beta phase for this project where we're going to be doing another round of design, another round of architecture that's more robust, more interactive. And so we're offering folks today, and really we're just here pretty much till lunchtime, a chance to do some research on some interesting topics. The first thing is interactive graphic interfaces. The second thing that we're interested in surveying is open source opportunities that we can plug our product into. For example, being able to enter your address and find out who your legislative bodies are, your legislative district that you belong to, and the representatives for those districts. We're also interested in automation for sharing to social
Scott,
media.
That's
Yep.
the hard stop.
Yeah, it sure is. And right, we know we've got a big challenge there, and so that's why we're really hoping we can get some good insights from today's work. Also, just
That's,
like
hey, Scott, that's the hard stop.
yeah.
That's it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Heather, are you ready?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I have an educational recycling simulator, Recycle Tutor. Nothing is more mortifying than recycling wrong. It sounds trivial, but it's not. We all want to help Mother Earth, but about 25% of what ends up in blue bins is contaminated. It needs to be 1% to be financially feasible. If I bring up the topic of recycling in a party, the first thing I hear is, I don't get it, I keep messing up. All I have to do is bring up recycling and I have ignited a fire. They're yelling, what do you even do with a pizza box? What I'm talking about is the exact solution, which uses remarkable novel technology called computer vision. We've trained computers to see, not just replicate by taking photos, but to truly see as we do. I'm an interaction designer who has worked with computer vision interfaces. My last project was a smile detector. For this project, I plan to track players' entire bodies. Looking at a screen with a front-facing camera, the player will see themselves surrounded by an augmented reality of virtual trash and bins. With computer vision, I know right where their body is, which means I know where their hands are, which means I can tell if they reach out and grab something, even something virtual. This interaction is the foundation of the educational interface that I plan that will guide citizens to make the right choices, teaching themselves through action, not advertising campaigns. Cleaning up recycling isn't employing people to slowly go through materials. It's getting it right first, so there are fewer mistakes to sort out, fewer machines to be stopped, fewer people wasting time, but most importantly, more help for Mother Earth.
Great. Thank you, Heather. Okay, next up is Richard. And while this appears to be out of order in the project breakout rooms, it starts with an S, Scalable Software Solutions. So Richard, are you ready?
Yeah, I am. Morning, everyone. My name is Richard Neely with Build On Technologies. For the last year, I've been volunteering in the homeless services space, providing technical support for client data solutions to various service providers. And what I've found is if you go into, say, Mary's Place, great staff, they're going to ask you, what's your name? Do you have a place to stay? How long have you been homeless? Are you fleeing trauma? Are you a victim of abuse? It adds a vulnerable set of questions to an already vulnerable situation. And it's necessary once. But then if I then go to childcare resources, again, great staff, they're going to ask me the same questions again. They're going to enter that same data again. And it becomes a very cold experience for the person experiencing homelessness as they try to navigate various services. So I've found that with these service providers, there is some appetite for a scalable sharing solution. And today I need some help with design. I've collected some requirements, and now I just want to get a clickable prototype put together so I can go continue research.
Excellent. Thank you, Richard. All right, next up is the Shelter app, and Raj has recorded his video coming to us from what appears to be the hull of a spaceship. Here we go, Raj.
Hi everyone, my name is Raj. I'm one of the volunteers for Shelter app, or Strap, which is a mobile app that helps homeless and at-risk families connect to services like food, shelter, health, resources, and work. We have close to 70K users across all platforms, and more than half of our users, those users joined us over the past month since the COVID crisis began. The core of our app is to provide reliable service information. So we are currently looking for to build a volunteer portal where volunteers could verify information in our app. Today, we are looking for volunteers who could help with redesigning our current portal or help us with scraping some of these new services. Hope you would join us to help the unhoused community in these challenging times. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Raj. Right on time. And next up is Turn the Bus. Not sure if that's Vikram or Bertashi. Okay, Bertati is presenting. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
So did you all know that there are millions of children in the world today who do not have access to a toilet, but have access to a smartphone? And what we are trying to do at Turn the Bus is to get the best local language educational content for K-12 education available via the channels that they're already using on their smartphones, like YouTube, WhatsApp, and Facebook. Now, for the political science, history, and liberal arts curricula, we are finding local pockets of excellence who are just doing talking head videos to teach this stuff over YouTube, not live, just recorded. But for the STEM curriculum, we see there's a ton of material already in the Western world that we would like to dub. So today we can make arrangements with nonprofits here that are creating fantastic videos for STEM education. And we'd like to see if we can set up relationships with them for the purposes of teaching STEM to these teenagers in the global South, starting with India. So we would love to have Python skills, video dubbing skills, any digital signal processing skills, video manipulation, that kind of stuff. So that's what we need today.
Excellent. Thank you, Bertati. All right. Next is Underbait. David, are you ready? You're mute, David, you're muted still.
Good, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Yes, so I'm David Fridley with Underbaits. And what we do is we send links to a video Q&A to candidates and then collect up their answers and paste it together in what looks like a debate, but is more civil. And we make that available to voters so they can watch it when they're deciding who to vote for. And it's fully automated, and so we can deploy it across the country. And we're working with Ballotpedia to do that. They have a database of a lot of elections. So right now, this is starting to come online, and we're getting feedback from voters that, well, they want deeper questions. And so our scope for today is to build a quick prototype of a process to engage thousands of voters in posing questions, and that's civil and unbiased. And this is Sweeney UX. We're doing this in React and Node and Mongo. Also, in terms of COVID-19, people are approaching us because they can't hold in-person debates. And so we're getting the same sort of feedback. Well, they want to tailor the questions for their group. So that's the project. Our scope for today is just sort of a rapid prototype. And especially looking for UX and front-end React.
Just under the wire on the hard stop. Well done. All right, next up is Bendito. Annalise, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here.
Great.
Okay, so did you know that more small businesses and micro businesses are gonna die because of COVID-19 than people? Well, what we want to do is to enable them to create a microsite very easily out of a WhatsApp conversation or a Google form. We are targeting the small businesses that have no e-commerce at all. So we want to make sure that it's very simple for them and using the tools that they already have. Then we connect them with social sellers, which is like mainly Generation Z and millennials that are already very familiar with social media, and this way they can be their seller and their marketing channels that businesses don't have. So the scope for today is to integrate the geolocation platform, which I think here could be a very good way of doing that, very in line with what we are doing today and what I've heard. We already connected on the platform. So yeah, I'm just like generating the microsite out of the business data on the Excel file in an automated way.
Great, thank you very much. All right, and next up, oh my goodness, I realize right now that somehow the Washington Conviction Vacation Project slide is not in the deck, and it should be. Seamus, do you want to?
Yeah, I'll speak to that.
Okay, and my apologies. That was.
You know what? I'm sure that is entirely my fault. I was heads down on a different project for a solid 2 weeks, so I've been underwater. But I'm back up, breathing oxygen again. So I'll just speak without a visual aid.
Great. Thank you.
Brilliant. Okay, so I'd love everyone to think back to the most horrendous thing that you've ever done in your life. Now think about how much time has passed, how the wounds are healed, and how different you are today. Now, no one wants to be judged by the worst thing they've ever done, but for 760,000 people in Washington state who have a criminal record, that is exactly what happens every day. No matter how much time has passed or how effectively they've righted their wrongs or how different they are today than when they committed the crime, these people are systematically barred from employment and housing, and when they can't find employment and housing, they're barred from government assistance. The Conviction Vacation Project is automating the more onerous steps that Washington forces people to go through in order to wipe their record clean so that they can turn the page, so that they can support themselves, be reliably housed, and no longer be judged for the single most horrendous thing they did years ago. This project is already ongoing, and it has a beta product ready for testing, review, and iteration, so we can hit the ground running today. Today, what we need is research, content creation, and stakeholder engagement so that we can exercise best practices in the way that things should be designed, where we include those stakeholders in the design. And in the near future, we'll be able to be in a position to start iterating. And so at that point, we'll need developers and designers again. So we hope that you'll join in the Conviction Vacation Project.
Great, thank you, Seamus. And I believe, Christiana, you're now here?
I'm here.
Great. Let's back up to Give On Live. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Ready, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Annalise. Hey, Annalise.
Hey, how are you?
Hey. Okay, I talk now?
Yeah, one minute pitch now.
Okay, go. Okay, so Give On Live. Give On Live is the home of live stream. We're all stuck at home. We all need engagement, and Netflix and chills does not cut it. So what is this? This is a one place where you can see what's on live. Think about the cable channel. Kind of boring, the TV guide, right? That one channel you kind of just skim through. Well, guess what? We're boring too, but we're efficient, and we're like the Wikipedia of live stream. Come in one place, see what you have available, come and find out where to watch these cool things, and it's all positive content. What we need is, we did do, in 48 hours, we made a demo mobile app, but our purpose in this hackathon is to add content that our mothers would like to use, whether it be, knitting, or for the younger moms out there, maybe some content for kids, right? So we want to make sure that this is a community crowdsourced project. So we want to make sure that everyone's needs are met. So every weekend we do another hackathon, and we're trying to get that content up on the site. We also, this is, a lot of this is entertainment, the Lady Gaga concert, all these things. So we really want to get some connection with NPR, Rolling Stone, so that the database, this rich, robust information that we have, can go to these articles and these sites so they can use it at their own will. So that is our scope, and coming from Christiana Viva, Quarantine in a Dream. Stay tuned for the podcast. That's
Great,
it.
Christiana. Thank you very much. Glad to have you here. You missed the preface about the really annoying loud bell rings at 90 seconds. So hopefully that wasn't too shocking. All right, well, that is our project lineup for the day. So what we'll all do now is, I'm just going to escape out of our slideshow and go back to our meeting space. And so what I'd ask everyone to do now is choose the team room that they want to join. You can click over on any one of those team rooms and you'll see the join video for general session button. A reminder again that before you do that, you want to leave this meeting. Zoom will likely be problematic if you try to join the next meeting before leaving this one. So do that. We also, you can see over here, have set up this Slack channel for announcements between teams, or if there's something that we need to announce to everyone, we'll do that. It's not absolutely necessary that everybody join that channel, but all the project leaders at the very least should be in that channel so that we have a way to make outbound communication if we need to. And then you will also see that there is the Here Technologies Technical Support Room, where Michael Palermo is hanging out right now. And then we have also set up a bunch of other rooms here. So if you need user testing, and if you're a volunteer and you kind of need a break from whatever you're working on and want to provide some feedback, this is a place for people to connect for user testing. If you just need a break and just want to hang out and meet somebody you don't know, we set up this social sanctuary room. And then we have a long list of rooms of different colors that you can use as breakout spaces. So if your team has, say, developers and designers, and the designers want to have a conversation independent of the developers, you can just take any of these breakout rooms that aren't currently in use so that people aren't having to talk over each other. So that is the plan of action. I'm going to set a timer for maybe to end at 10 a.m. You could treat this initial period of time, if you're a volunteer, as an opportunity to pop into different rooms and ask questions of project leaders if you would like to do so. But let's all try to have our team set by 10 a.m. and West Coast time and be engaged in our projects there. Any questions that anybody has right now that they would like to ask before we break out into our teams? Yes, Seamus.
There are some people that have joined this meeting directly from a Zoom link, either from Slack or from somewhere else. Can there be one person dedicated to assisting those persons to navigate into this more general space where they can navigate through the different Zoom rooms and things like that? Can we identify that person?
This Zoom room will be occupied throughout the day. Varsha, who's one of the volunteers helping to organize the event, will be in this room. We also belatedly recorded the pitches. I think we may have missed the first pitch or two. So we'll link that in the Google Doc that everyone can see here so that latecomers do have a chance to catch up on the pitches. And I apologize for missing the first couple pitches. I just forgot. So we hit the record button a little bit late there. Any other questions before we break into teams?
Yeah, I'm signed in now, but I don't have any events in my profile. So I don't know how to get to that page. I have the link to that page. It keeps asking me to sign in again and again.
Okay, well, why don't you hang here after everybody breaks into their rooms, and I'll help you get sorted with that. And Lucas, perhaps you can help Christiana as well.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Okay, well, without further ado, let's all break into our team rooms. Click the red leave meeting to exit here. and jump into the breakout room of your choice. Thanks, everybody. Very excited. Okay, so Christiana,